for the women.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, so guys, I think we've gone so far. I think the last part of this episode, we wanted at least maybe 2 questions each from the ladies. We've got a segment called Ask an African Male. So you are basically representing women in general in terms of what you would want to know from a man, from an African man. Or what we, something that would be like, why do you do this? Or how we think. Some men are bad communicators. Like, what will you be thinking when this happens or what? So I don't know if you might have 1 or 2 questions each on
just encyclopedia.
just to close off this episode as well. Yeah.
Okay.
You go first, Mary.
Okay, so the first question is, why is it so hard for you guys to say I'm sorry when you know you've messed up and you've messed up big? Say, I'm sorry, I could have done this better. Why is it so hard to apologize?
Okay, what's the second question? No, because I have an answer for that.
You've got an answer?
I do.
Second question is, given that in the kind of setup that we live in, you've got maybe your wife is also working and you're also working. Why is it so hard for the African man to kind of like just chip in sometimes to help your wife? When she's had a hard day at work, she's tired, she gets home, there's kids to be taken care of, she needs to do, maybe there's no helper in the house at that particular time. She needs to cook, she needs to do the dishes. Why is it so hard for maybe some African man to just step up and be a helper to your wife for the household things?
Right.
Like,
And cook, Tino.
Yeah, and cook dinner.
Yes.
Make her a cup of tea. Why is it so
Tino,
hard?
why can't you just cook for your wife?
I swear Tino's wife is going to like this.
I just want to understand.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so you can tackle the first.
Right, the first one. I think the reason why a lot of African men find it difficult to say I'm sorry is because they were never taught to say I'm sorry. That's the first thing. They were never taught to say I'm sorry. The second thing is just, when a male ego goes unchecked and does not have accountability as you grow, your ego grows. And this is going to answer the helping out bit as well. So when your ego grows, you start saying things like, yeah, but you see, the thing with me is I don't do this or I do that. I'm not that kind of guy. My thing is this. All of those statements are attached to my identity. When I say my thing is this, or I don't like this, or I don't do this, or I do that. And a lot of men have things where they're just like, this is a non-negotiable for me. I don't do dishes. Like, I have a friend of mine who's like, bro, I don't touch dishes. And I was like, so what about when your wife was away and you were with the kids? And he's like, yeah, we just let that shit pile up, bro.
Wow.
Like, I'll just ask the kids to do it. I don't touch dishes. It's just not how I was raised, and I'm not that guy. Like, he's very set in his ways. So I feel like a lot of behaviors are based on how you raise your boys.
That's true.
And how we raise the boys as well.
Background.
But I have to tell you, I find doing dishes therapeutic. So I can do dishes. Like, I will do dishes at home. And I will cook as well. Because I love cooking. My sister's a chef. My mom's a great cook. I love eating. I love food. And because of that, the way I was raised, my mother never wanted us to get married early. So she always wanted us to be comfortable, to do our own chores, clean our own rooms, and cook and do dishes. So she made that part of our daily chores. So we never thought it was weird when my wife says, okay, do you think you can do the dishes for me? And I'd be like, okay, yeah, let me do the dishes. Then I put some music on, and then I'm already in a good mood. Then I do the dishes, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
That doesn't even move me.
Okay.
It's not even a thing for me. But I know a lot of guys who would be like, it would be maybe their first time doing dishes. So it's something that they kind of then have to unlearn, like what you said about your husband and the whole holiday thing. So I feel like there's certain things that we then have to unlearn because you're trying to be the provider and protector. So you also need to protect her from just burnout of she's got a role at work and then she comes home and then there's like, you know, a bunch of responsibilities for this new role, this role of being a wife and a mother. So
And
I think that
You know what,
going
it's-
back to the apology thing, I feel like the way that we raise kids is very important. If we teach kids from a very early age to say, no, you were wrong, you need to actually say you're sorry.
Be accountable.
And to teach a young boy to actually initiate a conversation where they are going to meet someone to say they're sorry is something that's important, because if it's not embedded in my psyche from the time I'm like 19, then how am I going to learn to apologize when I'm 35?
That's true.
Yes, Slim, you had something to say?
No, it's okay. I was just going to say it's an ancient upbringing trying to exist in a modern world.
Hey, come on, Slim.
Yo.
That is so good. That is so good.
I think we're learning.
Yeah.
Because even me growing up, I would never. I don't think I never saw my dad saying sorry. I never. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I've
And-
ever seen my dad say
and
sorry.
So it's
my-
gonna be
my-
important for. Sorry to cut you, Tino. It's gonna be important for you to teach your husband to say those things in front of the kids, because the kids never see it. Then I'm not gonna do it, because as much as we learn from hearing and being taught, we learn more from watching.
No, for sure. Sorry, the second question was, I was keen to answer the second.
Oh, it was, why don't you help out? So it's,
Yeah, Tino can take that.
why don't you help out?
Yeah, no, I think that probably also
Same thing.
same concept.
Thing. Yeah.
But for me, how I feel, well, personally, I do help out. But how I see it is, I should bring in the aid she needs, right, for that work not to be there, right?
What do you mean?
Like for her not to be tired, and also okay, maybe let me put it like this: for her to be tired, it means my wife has gone to work, right?
Right.
She's gone to work, she's worked hard, she's coming back. I, as the provider, if I want a setting where my wife is the one that makes sure everything is good in the house, she's cooking, she's cleaning, and whatever the case is, I need to make that provision possible for her to say, I don't have to go to work,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
So you either make enough money that she doesn't have to go,
or give her the option.
or get her the helper.
Yeah.
What about the helper?
Yeah, get it exactly. Get it the helper.
Okay.
So that's in my side. That's how I see it. So I think as men, if your wife is working, right, you also have to appreciate and understand that just as much as you've worked a long day,
Yeah.
she's
She's
also
also
she's also
she's just as
Yeah,
tired.
but
Just
Mary's
as
question.
Just as tired.
But Mary's question is, why is it hard for men to take up to help with?
Yeah.
Let me do the dishes, or let me cook before you
well,
come,
I
and
can't,
then
I can't cook. Listen.
Can I ask you,
You can't cook, but you want your wife to.
let me ask you something,
Sorry,
Pray.
you said
You say you can't cook.
yes. I can't cook it. Okay, I can.
he can make an
I
egg.
can make a meal, but it's not nice. It's
What do you mean it's not nice?
it's
He'll fry
standard.
eggs. He's gonna fry eggs with toast.
It's a standard meal. I can't. I can make you a rice and soup and put meat in the grill, but it's not something you're gonna really enjoy. It's not a delicacy.
But Mary,
But
Mary,
that's why.
it-
That's
That's exactly my point. That's what I was trying to say. Because I was going to ask Prayer a question and say that you're asking about why men can't help around and move things around
Right.
when the lady can't, right? Did they do that when they were being brought up?
who?
The men. It was always the mom that was doing it. It was always the sisters that were doing it. It was always the helper that was doing it.
100%.
So you can't start doing it
That's why.
when you're now in a marriage.
That's
So
what
you
that's
get
why
where I'm
that's what I was
coming
going to say to Mary in response to your question. What Tino actually said is where the answer is.
yeah.
what Tino grew up seeing his dad do is what he's doing.
But then he's instilling the same thing in his
Yes,
Into
but then
his
that's the thing.
son.
Like he's only then unlearning because now you listen to other people and how they are doing it, and then you realize, oh, there are other guys who do dishes and they can cook and they learn how to cook and whatever. Because it's not like I just started learning how to do all these cool recipes when I was like 14 or whatever. It's like some of the stuff I will look at it and think that might be a little easy to make. I think I could make that. You know, and I would like to eat that. So sometimes I get tired of suggesting the kind of dishes I'd like to eat at home. And I'm a very proactive person.
But
If
the
I feel
thing
like
is-
someone's not doing something, I'm going to go
Yeah,
and do it.
you
So
gotta do
if
it
I want
yourself.
roti and chicken with a coleslaw salad, but with diced apples in it,
Hey.
I could actually
The detail.
go and like I could actually go and make some roti.
Now it's
I'll buy
making
some
us look
roti.
bad,
I'll buy some rotis, fry some chicken, and make the coleslaw salad with the
but
diced
this,
apple.
But this, remember, this is an African male segment, so we're responding on behalf of.
No. No, I need to tell you why I'm taking this perspective.
Yeah.
My dad does that. I grew up seeing my dad doing the dishes, and my dad's got OCD. So my dad cleans. So my dad will clean a kitchen better than any woman. Because he's like seeing these corners, he's like, hey, there's a bit of dirt. Hey, the fridge has got, hey, there's some, what is this thing? Hey, we need to get more handy Andy there. There are too many flies in here, whatever. Like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
He's generally just super smart. You know, that's the kind of person he is. But I mean, with the cooking, he struggles with the cooking because he never saw his dad cook.
See, that's the problem.
But you see, what happened with me is my mom made us work in the kitchen, do the dishes, and help out, cut the onions, do this and whatever, because she was a working woman. And she got tired, so she would always get us to, and that became like our family time and whatever.
Yeah.
And because of that, it stopped being an issue for me to cook. So I just thought, yeah, I could cook because I love food. Like, I'm just gonna cook, bro. Like, and I'm picky with my food. That's also a part of it. Like, I need food a certain
so
way.
it's interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's very important that what we see or what we make our kids see becomes and forms their philosophies to the things that they should do and they shouldn't do. Because when you look at your father, he's the first example of what an African man is.
Yeah.
So how he moves is how African men move.